It's the 11th of December 2018. We paired up on the 1st and 2nd of December. This is a look back at the section that we looked at originally. There's only two pairs in here that have got eggs at the moment. That's box 7. Just to remind you, box 1 is top left, box 4 is top right, 5, 6, 7, so 7 is second from the top, third from the left. She's an easy layer anyway, but that's the pair that have been paired together before. Not in this section, but they have bred together before. Most of these in here are new time pairings or yearlings. So it's understandable. The rest of the stud has around about 50% of them have got eggs already. The section that I'm standing in now, which is all Ian boars, they have only 3 nest boxes out of the 16 that haven't got eggs. As hens lay in the evening, we're looking at the eggs that were laid on the 10th evening, which was last night. Obviously the 11th night will be tonight. I'm not too concerned about them all laying on the 10th evening. As long as they lay in the 10 to 15 day period, I'm happy. I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. I have about 5 pairs out of the 180 that I think will be problematic. Other than that, I think everything is going fairly well. Weather conditions are fairly changeable. Yesterday it was over 10 degrees during the day. I should think today we'll be lucky to get to 6 degrees. So what we have done, or what I've done in these sections, is only opened one of the 2 windows. So the window nearest the nest boxes has stayed closed. The window the furthest away from the nest boxes is open. As you can see, some of them have built some nice nests. One of the problems that we have is where particular cockbirds build too big a nest and causes the nest to be above the edge of the bowl and potential for the eggs to roll out. What I do there is I take out half of the nest. The top half I put in another bowl that needs a bit of topping up or is empty, and the bottom half I leave in there. They have a supply of straw that's on the floor. I top up as needed, so today I've given them some. I try and give them a little each day rather than all in one go. But everything seems to be going to plan. You can see the bottom left in here, just about, is closed off. That's where I had the original cock in here, which was an old pigeon bred in 2003. He'd paired to his hen, but when they were out he wanted to pair to everything else and was messing up other pairs. I don't normally pair pigeons over 10-year-old. I wait until the weather conditions are right, but he was just a bit too keen. So I decided to remove him completely from the loft, and we shall try him later in the year, as he was with a yearling hen and she was keen, but obviously not keen enough for him. He wouldn't be one that we sell in the kits as 6, so it's not essential that he fertiles with the rest. We'll take a look at some of the other sections now, a brief look around just to see how things are going. These are individual breeding pens. This set here contains 4. We have another set that contain 5. They both have their own aviaries, as you can see at the end. So the pair here on the right hand side nearest to us have got their turn out in the aviary today. The pair that will be in the very end one where the window is, they'll have their turn out tomorrow, and so on. Every first national winner of ours is paired in these sections so that we know 100% that the pairing we say they are, they're 100% from those. So benefits us, because all of our stock birds we know from the first national winners, that's theirs, and also then when we come to sell some of these top birds, there's no doubt that they're from these pairs. We'll try and take a look at some of these in here. It's a little bit tricky with this camera because I don't know how much space we've got, but we'll do our best. Handily, this is one of the cocks just come out here, Dennis 2. They spend most of the time inside, to be honest. Come out for a bath when it's raining. They also have their grit and pick stone on the floor there. Other than that, everything is individual in their pens. So we have here, this is the hen that's paired to Dennis 2. She's a daughter of Dennis 22 and the Welsh Grizzle. Dennis 2 is the same way bred as Dennis 22's grandsire. So you can see they built a nice nest. She's only a yearling, hasn't laid yet, but that's no problem. That's the food. I could do with a bit of a clean, but I only clean out once a week. Here's the water. I've liked this hen from the start, as she's been maturing. So let's hope she can breed the goods. So that's almost grandfather and granddaughter pairing, but not quite. So we have 10, the blue who's laying down on the floor here. He's a bit arthritic, so he likes to lay on the straw quite a lot. And he's paired to his daughter from last year, so a yearling hen again. And that was when 10 was paired to Channel Queen in this very section. So we've got father and daughter pairing here. These sections we use for the ones that are a bit older and a bit doddery as well. So the really old birds will come into these sections later on in the year. This is the next section. These have actually got eggs, or an egg, last night, laid on the 10th. This is a 2016 bred hen, although this is her first year pairing this year. So it's her first egg. She's a half sister to Little, who she's paired to. First national Little Hampton, but also listed as in Little John. He's not a small pigeon. This is Channel Queen and Seren 11. Top pair of pigeons in the country. Don't know of a better 500 male pair of pigeons. This is Channel Queen. First national winner from Bordeaux. Triple RPRA award winner. 6th and 9th national. 10 national positions across the water. She laid last night. 8-year-old hen. And this is Seren 11. 11-year-old cock. First, second and third national. 12 plus national positions across the water. So over 22 national positions between these two all across the water. On their first egg last night. So I'm very pleased about that. Again, exactly the same section as the others. The only difference is they have a window into the next door aviary, just for a bit of extra light, no other reason. The doors between these sections can be slid right back, so in the winter period, if we need extra room for young birds or old birds, basically this can be one big section or split into two different sections, however we like, just to make it as versatile as possible. I've got the lights on now just to make it brighter in here for us to be able to see. So here we are in our biggest section. This is bigger than anything else that we've got. You've seen it before in one of the other videos. This is the only one that's different to all our other sections really. Basically the rest are the same. As you can see in here, there's an S-box closed away. This is one of the pairs I've had issues with. Not necessarily the actual pair themselves, but the pair to their left hand side decided that they wanted their box as well, and it's a pair of yearlings that are locked away in there. They've paired up great, really impressed with them, and held his box to start with, but the cock next door has just been pestering them too much and they've given up holding it for the time being. But last night the pair next door had their first egg, so when they lay their second egg tomorrow night I shall let the other pair out, and I'm sure they'll have a chance to hold their box in. Not quite 50% of these have paired in here. There's 32 nest boxes, but I can see there are plenty of hens looking as if they're going to lay very soon. There are a number of yearlings as well in here, cocks and hens, but I have no issues with that. As you can see on this one, I've got as many drinkers up off the floor as I can. This is due to my own health. Last year I injured my back twice within a couple of weeks, and I couldn't bend down at all. And as we have something like 12 to 14 sections, all with water on the floor, and I have to pick them up and put them down, I thought that's 28 times I don't have to bend over if I can just take them off of the shelf. That's the reason why they're up off the floor. If I could think of a way of getting the feed up off the floor, then I would. But not for the sake of the birds, for the sake of my back. As you can possibly see, we have vents in all the tops of the loft. This section has two because of it being so big. We can actually close them off, but we never have. With a pitched roof, box profile tin, with a vent along the ridge. Again, these have got a plentiful supply of straw. I generally put it down that corner there. But where I'm actually stood now, after this first round of eggs are laid, I put a piece of board on the grills and the straw will be available here. I just don't want to encourage anybody to lay in this corner for the first round, because if they do it from the first round, then I'm stuck with it for the rest of the year. Here's their aviary. Bit of sunshine, that's nice. Looking down through the first set of perches you can see there is the individual breeding pens. The next lot is the Liam boars that I've been standing in to video the section that's freshly been paired up this year. And then the very end section, which is very difficult to see from here, is for weaning the babies off. I've actually got the fanciest birds in there at the moment as he's moving back from Ireland to Devon. Hopefully they'll be picked up before we wean the first lot of babies off. See if we can have a look out here. Not too many outside. This is our other set of individual breeding pens. This is the first set we built. So there are 5 individual breeding pens here. I'm actually stood in the aviary to show you this way. Slightly different as we had a bit more space over here. The very end section here has got a window that they can go in and out of. So when it's their turn to come out, they can come in and out of here. Other than that, we have the door open for the rest, like the others. Solway View Boy, one of our own first national winners that we've brought back in this year, sitting his pair of eggs. She laid on the 8th, so has 2 eggs now. It's paired to Serenity, who's out in the aviary here behind me. They've got a lovely big aviary here, the same size as all the other sections, so they have a bit of a treat, these ones. But it does look very empty with one bird on its own in the aviary. So that's Serenity, mother of first section, 14th open third zone. So we'll try and take a look at these other individual breeding pens. See a bit of the garden down there towards our house. Not particularly nice time of the year because we're covered in leaves and generally mud. So same design, same layout, doors open in between the sections, same as before. This is Silver Shadow Cock and Mini Me. Mini Me being the first national winner. See their egg. I don't generally use nest felts, but you can see this one's got a nest felt. I use the nest felts for the ones that are a bit doddery. This is one of them. He's unfortunately damaged his wings, so he has to stay on the floor now. And he's a bit clumsy with his feet, so we give him a nest felt as well. Other than that, he's fine. Was fertile last year, so hopefully he will be this year. Again, they can just walk out into the aviary when it's their turn, so tomorrow it'll be their turn. She will lay tonight because she laid on the 9th. This one's currently empty. I used it to pair a stubborn hen. Rather than locking them away in a box, I just use this individual breeding pen to get them to pair. She's a pain to pair to a fresh cock the following year. She's been paired to Red Bull for the last 2 years, no trouble at all. But to pair her to another cock, she's a pain. We have the Sorrow Little, the pied cock, Sorrow the first national winner, paired to a daughter of Little. So Sorrow the first national winner paired to a daughter of a first national winner and sister to a second national winner. 2016 hen, but she was a late bred from 2016, so this is her first year being paired. She's not laid yet, but they actually didn't get put together until the 3rd, because I decided to use a different hen. Last but not least, Ewan and his hen, Black Mistress. So Ewan's a new Van Geerladen cock, second national winner, brother to a first national winner and third national winner, and son of a third national winner. This hen's actually going up to Scotland after this round of eggs. So that's why I have him in an individual breeding pen, because it's easier to swap him over to a new hen this way. Also, the hen that he'll go with after this is going to be an older hen. This one's an 08. At some stage I will pair him to a 2004 hen. They had their turn in the aviary yesterday. She laid her first egg last night, so all good here. This is one of the sections that we have where we keep the birds for sale. This is the hens one. Cock's one is next door. They're identical. And the loft design is identical to the breeding sections. They've just got these perches instead. So we have a set of perches this side and a set of perches on the other side. Same window, bit in the middle for them to go outside. You can see Christmas and New Year sat there. Only joking. pair of the kings for the kids. We'll probably pair them up soon. They are a cock and a hen. We've left them in here, but we've only just recently got them. This section is mainly full of, well, not full, it's not got many in it at all. Can hold 80, but there's about maybe 30. It's got all the old hens that we're not pairing yet, old stock hens, spare stock hens, and then the birds that we have left for sale, which we have about 80 left to take to Blackpool at the end of January. 80 birds in total, but I think we have, if we're lucky, 30 hens. Rest cocks. As it's a nice sunny day, I thought I'd take you into my racing loft. I only built it at the beginning of the old bird racing season last year. Haven't been able to race properly from here, but hope to get a team going. I'm actually upstairs at the moment. It's above one of our areas that I had to redo. So I'll try and show you down. It's not particularly spacious up here, but there you go. Some precariously stood at the top of the stairs on a bit of wood that's just laying here, not fixed. But hey ho, health and safety, all that. Where I keep my baskets, I have little 6-bird baskets which sit up there, quite handy little space. We build all the lofts ourselves. We have bought dowel petitions in the past, but we now do them ourselves if we have the time. So going along here, I'll show you outside first. 2 nice big windows. We like 4-foot windows. That's our view. One good reason for building the loft above everything else, space. But this is the only place we get a view, because as you can see, we're down in a valley. Nothing like a Welsh valley, but we don't get to see anything. Surrounded by trees. Get to see a bit more at this time of the year with no leaves on the trees. Polytunnel. Green shed is where we keep the corn. And the shed behind is the workshop where we do all our woodwork and bits and pieces. We're stood at the back of our property at the moment, so there's not much behind us other than a hedge and the loft. The birds on a race day should come from here. We face east, fly east to west, inland, and those 2 trees there. If they come between those 2 trees, that's bang on line. Sometimes we do have them come to the left. Sometimes we do have them come to the right. Over this way, either between my house, which is the one on the right, or my parents' house, which is the one on the left. And it's generally when the wind is strong head wind and they're following the valley up as much as they can. So they come from the left, which is the way the river runs, to the right, and then pop up to us through there. We haven't raced south yet, but that's towards Dartmoor, and beyond on the coast would be Plymouth. That's where they should come if we race south. If they come from that direction when we race south, I shall be over the moon, because they'll have to cross Dartmoor and they won't like doing that, but it will mean we're in with a good shout. It looks lovely, but my hands are freezing. Mind you, better than the wind we had a couple of days ago. So, to let my birds out, I just open the door. This is the young bird section that I've only just finished off properly. So when we've got youngsters in here, just open the door and out they fly straight out the 4-foot window that's in front of this door. I had a gap at the back there that I hadn't filled in before I put youngsters in, so I finished that off. Got them on poles at the moment. I have got some, what we've now found out are called peepo boxes. We made them ourselves and didn't realise there was something similar, so I might try and get them in. The only issue is I'm not sure they're going to fit through the window because I can't get them up the stairs, so I might have to have poles. They trap above, so I walk in the corridor, up the stairs, from there, that's the corridor, and they land above my head, coming through the bob wires when I've got the plastic front up. This works quite well actually, very pleased with it. It's just a child lock on that one. And the same to hook it up here, oops, like that. Twin wall, just because it's cheap and easy to use. Lets the light in, keeps the rain out. I did try plastic as the landing board, stock board. If any of you farmers out there know about that, you should. But unfortunately I found out it expands and contracts quite a lot in the heat and sun, and I couldn't get it to seal. As in 2 8-foot sheets were expanding and contracting by ½ an inch. And I was getting terrible leakage problems. So I've had to resort to felt, which I don't really like. So I'm going to try roundabout for the first time. I've raced with a hood and natural before, but want to try roundabout. So I've done it like this, have the hens in here on poles. And then I'm not going to drive them through. They've got the same trap above as the babies. I've made a hatchway up there that I can open up and let them go through. What I should do when a pair is have it open so they can go cocks and hens straight through each side. Hopefully they'll learn that. We'll see. Never done roundabout before, so I'm learning. They'll be learning. We're bound to make mistakes. Along to the cocks. So I only never had these boxes done for racing this year. I just raced them natural to get them miles under the wing. Sorry, I need to clean out, should have done that. But I only clean once a week, doesn't matter whether it's a stock birds or race birds. I'd love to clean more, but I haven't got the time. So as you can see, I've got 17 boxes. I wasn't actually supposed to have 4 wide, I got overexcited. I was only going to have 3 wide boxes. Put too many petitions in. So I was going to box this piece in at the top. I thought, why not? Can fit a box up there. Whoever holds that must be pretty keen. So we'll give it a go. I think I have 17 boxes in here, and at the moment I've got 18. So I've got V-birches there, and I've only got 14 hens. So when they choose their hens, again, that might be something that's interesting to play around with. Just feed her on the floor, same as all the other sections. Water I can't really get up off the floor very easily, so all these 3 sections, old birds and young birds, have got the water on the floor. I haven't made fronts for these boxes yet. I'm not worried about taking youngsters from them from our race team, so they'll pair to who they want. I'll just let them get on with it and see how we go.